Hello and welcome to the internet. My name is JakeDragon7 and welcome to today's episode of Let's Play Freedom Planet. Today we're going to be taking on the first two sections of Final Dreadnought with Mila. So getting started, things aren't quite as explosive as with the other two characters who just kind of burst in on the scene. Rather, Mila prefers to be more sneaky, it seems. Which doesn't make sense since she obviously isn't quite as capable of defending herself as the other two. Making a grand entrance would be a much greater risk for her. Anyway though, we're already dead actually. Funny story about that. You know, just so happens, can't do shit with this character anymore. Nah, just a little bit of a rough start, it happens. Let's hope that's all it is at least. Otherwise we'll be in for the long haul and I ain't really prepared for that again. Okay though, so... that was a little shitty. Okay though, so yeah. Now, these levels can definitely be quite challenging. Final Dreadnought 1 usually isn't too bad for Mila, save for the boss, which can be a little tricky at some points. Final Dreadnought 2, which I also plan to tackle this episode, like I said, that one can be much more tricky, mostly just because of one particular section, and again, as always, the boss is quite challenging, even though I have been doing well recently. Never forget. Just now more than ever, I really don't want to jinx it. So yeah, we'll have to see though. Fuck. Okay, those springs were really messing with my head. Bit of an awkward position to be in for sure. We are right back where we were though, I think, yeah. Alright. So we'll get moving here. Oh, we don't really get to keep that momentum apparently. I would have really appreciated that, but oh well. Okay, so of course we're being set down, but still not completely hopeless. Let's see then. So of course Mila can just sort of fly up these sections pretty easily. Not much of a big deal there. And nice man, just slip up here. I don't think I was entirely certain about what I was going to say there. I just knew it would begin with an S, so I kind of accidentally mixed up my pronunciation a little bit there. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. Okay. Let's get a little bit of extra speed. Oh yeah, I should probably be careful about the lasers, you know, just maybe. You know, oh, what the hell? That shit's all the way down there. God damn my life. Holy fuck. Well, I was, you know, just getting ready to leave and never play this game again. Okay, though, in all seriousness, forgive me just being a complete idiot and just being terrible at life. Let's see. We'll slip by here. See, I was trying to be cautious to make sure I wouldn't run into anything. As it happens, something kind of may have run into me because I was being a little too careful. You know, you can never be too careful. Nah, bitch, fuck that. Clearly you haven't played Freedom Planet. Or really any video game. Because there are a lot of games where sometimes being careful is not exactly a smart thing. Anyway though, yeah, the Final Dreadnought levels really aren't that long most of the time. So we're already at the boss. Now, fighting this boss with Mila is a process that took me quite a long time to figure out. But yeah, I do this quite meticulously. Actually, okay, I'm not... Ah, fuck, I was out of position. I was out of position for that, but that's okay. So, for this section, what you really want to do is ride under it with the block. Okay, I'm not doing it right now because I'm not used to the positioning. Basically, what you want to do is... Basically, okay, so for this section, yeah, again, stay under the block, and then just stay on top of it and throw blocks at it while it's moving back. Now, with the train, you want to... Oh, fuck. Okay, I did a little more damage than I thought I did. Like, I know the way I'm talking about this probably seems a lot more analytical than some of the other bosses. That's because, again, this boss took me a long time to beat, and I mostly just beat it from studying the pattern really hard and figuring out a counter to all of the forms. Because that's really how you have to beat this boss. You know, when I say, like, when I'm always like, oh, Mila, the margin for error she has with bosses is so small, I mostly say that because of my experience with this boss and a lot of, like, the Final Dreadnought bosses. Again, like, some of the late game bosses still have that principle apply, but, like, I really started realizing it with this level, which in the past, I may have struggled with this boss a little bit, but not, like, a ton. One thing to be careful of is the way that this level is moving. Her blocks do actually, like, the boss can easily run into her blocks, but you do have to be careful not to throw them past her, past it. Oh. That's not the form I thought it was taking. Usually, I will just opt not to attack it in that form. Now obviously, it's preferable to just never take hits. But this boss in particular, you do want to be careful to just not take hits, like with any of the other forms, except for maybe that. But in general, you really should be saving most of your potential mistakes for the very end, when it goes into that weird form with the razor blades. Not where it is a razor blade with the other, like the wheel things. If you may or may not know what I'm talking about, depending on how well you know this boss. With the amount of times I had to fight this fucker, I mean, I know it fairly well. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting your execution right, which can take a pretty long time, truth be told. Okay. Occasionally being able to slip in extra shots isn't entirely a bad thing, but you have to be careful. Okay, so when blocking the shots of the train, because that's how we usually take care of that form, I'll just block the shots and reflect it back at it. What you need to be careful of is just not jumping too high, because Mila herself can easily get hit if she jumps too high. You have to, like, really be careful about your jumping there, and I just jumped right into that. That was dumb. Okay, I usually don't sneak in damage on this form, but I'll make an exception for now. So the reason I usually just go for the basic attacks on the Pogo form is because of the blasts it has when it's falling, which I feel are very, very dangerous. Because they do still take away a full part of your health, even though it seems like a pretty weak attack on the surface. God damn it. Okay. So right there, you don't want to worry about your blocking or anything at all. You just want to run up and just spam your attack, which is pretty much what I do with the other characters. Just with Mila, there's usually not a time when you want to do that. I'm going to cut to when we get to there again, because you've probably seen the other phases enough by now. Alright, so yeah, when it goes into that last form with like the wheels and the electric plasma balls and stuff, it only takes like a couple hits to take it down. It's just you have to be really careful. It can be pretty easy to end up flying backwards into an attack. See, that's the thing, like, pretty much your best bet is to just jump up and start spamming your attacks at it. It's just that it's really risky because the hitbox is pretty small, doesn't last very long. And it kind of does, like, move in and out of the screen a little bit, which can be a little annoying to deal with, admittedly. Anyway, moving on to Final Dreadnought 2. I feel like this is probably the hardest level, like, not including the boss. I feel like Final Dreadnought 2 is by far the hardest Final Dreadnought level. It's... oh boy. It is just really... it's mostly because of one section that happens later in this level that I absolutely hate this stage for. And obviously we'll get there when we get there. But it has to do primarily with those plant enemies, which appear late in an area later in the level, where they pretty much become mandatory to kill. And killing those things with Mila is such a fucking pain in the ass. Not to mention the fact that they actually regenerate after you defeat them. So yeah, that's fun to deal with. See, here's the problem. So obviously Mila does best when she can just kind of outrange her enemies and make sure they can't attack her, right? Well, see how those things spew poison like that? Also, in case you don't remember, because I know I've dealt with them in other levels and I'm probably complaining about them quite a bit, their attacks linger. So they just leave in these projectile attacks that can get in the way of you trying to actually do your own little bits of zoning, making them extremely obnoxious to deal with. In fact, we're actually already at the section I hate. More or less, anyway. Mind you, it's not necessarily this right here, it's just that this is sort of a lead-in to where we're going. And trust me, I will not be able to do it on this run because... Actually, I think there is a little bit of extra health up here. It's just that I don't know... Like, if I'm not up at full health going into this, I'm just completely... Yep, yeah, I'm completely boned. I'm not pulling this off. So yeah, because of all of that poison, and the fact that it's still, as far as I'm aware at least, does deal like a full part of your health. Like, look at how quickly these things regenerate. What? That's ridiculous. Now, also keep in mind that obviously, usually these enemies right here, I just run past, right? Well, if you remember the way this section works, we have to go down and fight that weird octopus mini-boss from Thermal Base again. To get one of the card keys. So, you know, seems pretty simple, right? Wrong. Dead fucking wrong. Because that thing will chase you down there. Along with the fact that 2 of the plant enemies are already down there with the fucking mini-boss. Meaning that you pretty much are just in complete bullet hell. With this thing, that thing that does, mind you, actually also shoot things at you. And then the 2 plants, you can't really do anything in that section. Okay, so I got rid of those 2. I took 2 hits. That's not great, but it's not terrible. See, I pretty much can't pass that point right now because I have to... Because, yeah, of all that toxin stuff. It just deals way too much damage. Oh, yeah, and you can do that to them to try to take them out and, like, avoid them. But you have to be quick. You have to like be careful about how you dodge because the attacks linger. This area, I hate this area so much. It might be one of the hardest things I've ever... Like, this is probably one of the hardest sections in this entire game, in my opinion. And it's really only this much of a hassle with Mila because of her low health pool and her slow rate of attacking. Did I take it out? No, I took that thing out. Okay, I'm just gonna run up top here. Now, we're almost through here. Just have to take that thing and its buddy out. Alright, not bad. Let's see, where am I getting taken again? Okay, you know, this side. Yeah, those things are still here, but I can take them out fairly easily. These things are a lot easier to, like, camp out. So that's not the worst thing in the world, at least. Okay. Oh god, okay, luckily it wasn't attacking. Alright, there we go. I made it through second attempt. Oh god. Come on. Holy shit, I made it through on my second attempt. Oh my god. That's another thing that just took me so long to get down. Because again, pretty much everything you do has to be really perfect. Oh my god, okay. And then I added something stupid like that, of course. How else would I go down? Yeah, again, at this... I mean, after that, the level, I mean, is a little tricky, but it's not really that bad. It's pretty average in terms of difficulty from there on. It's just that one section is the bane of my existence, and the fact that I was able to do it that quickly is quite shocking to me, actually. But now I am stuck in another bullet hell section, apparently. I do remember struggling here a little bit, but again, after beating that other section, I was just so determined to just barrel my way through this that I just couldn't give a shit, honestly. Okay, god damn it. It's a lot I'm gonna deal with in that section than I remember. Anyway, though, finally managed to make it through that mess, and then we go through this section, which, I mean, I don't remember being too terrible. Now, if I remember correctly, it is pretty similar to those sections, except we don't have to worry about yeah, we don't have to worry about the air shutting off in this section since Mila wouldn't be here to provide the bubbles. You know, it'd be a little BS, I guess. But still, the whole puzzle platforming element of this level, I mean, of this section, is still fully intact. Not that it's really that much of a complicated puzzle, if you could even call it that. It's all pretty simple. I hit this. Go over here. Now just be careful of the lasers. I do wish I could go through this a little bit faster, but, you know, kind of one hit right. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, okay, that was bound to happen at some point. Alright, finally managed to slip through all of that crap. Quite a lot to worry about there, and again, little margin for error, as they always say with this character. But, yeah, we made it through. I think there are a couple of these sections to worry about. But we should be getting pretty close to the boss, so yay. I'm clearly so excited for my favorite part of every level in this game. Especially the Final Dreadnought levels. Obviously. Oh, they still have explosions. Oh, crap. Oh man, I held it for too long. Alright, just exploring a little bit on the side here. I'm pretty sure we do have to take this the whole way up, but oh well, at least I got rid of all the mines, so won't be too bad. Okay, let's just keep on moving on here. Or not. Okay, now this section we really do have to dodge them a lot more. Alright, that should be all of it. Well, here we are yet again. The final battle with Of course, in the past, I definitely have struggled with this quite a bit, and yeah, obviously with Mila, I have had my share of difficulty beating this guy as well. We'll have to see here how things go right now. Now, for this attack, if you actually stand right up in front of him, yeah, you can reflect all of them. You do have to be very careful with when you're spawning blocks, since being able to take advantage of your double jump is really important to dodging his main attack, which is his punch. Okay, I don't know how I just slid that far, but that was kind of ridiculous. I'm gonna have to stop commentating here, sadly, just because I need to really focus on this since I have so much trouble with this fight all the time. Okay, in some kind of blessing from the gods, I beat this boss on the second attempt. So I probably will end up just showing that without, even though there was no commentary. I mean, that was a pretty good run. So yeah, I've managed to find some form of enjoyment on today's episode of Let's Play Freedom Planet. If you did, perhaps consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing to see the last episode of the series, as well as all the other stuff I do on this channel. So yeah, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all in the future. Goodbye.